Just reading the market right now. Just kind of waiting for something to happen. Yeah, ES is definitely targeting that daily fair value gap for sure. Look up here, look at this daily fair value gap on ES. We're definitely targeting that fair value gap on ES. We have liquidity resting here. So yeah, exactly. That's another confluence for us, right? When we see ES has a buy side target, it's another confluence to show that NQ is probably going to do the same thing, right? And we have buy side target on NQ as well. So we've got a lot of bias to the buy side. But it's just about getting the right trade. I'm obviously not going to hop into the longs when we're at the top of this level. That's why you haven't seen me enter. There it is. All right. Okay. So there's that liquidity grab. So now we're going to see, are we going to get that follow through? Are we going to get displacement of this liquidity, of these highs, or are we going to wick above and are we going to see a short opportunity from this level? Right? I believe we're going to try to push up a little bit more. But yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. But again, guys, didn't really have an entry that I wanted to take. But that's what I like. I like to sit here. I like to tape read. I like to talk about these levels because, right, we're calling out the right plays. We're seeing the right plays. We're seeing our analysis play out. We don't always have to get an entry. Okay, so that's nice right there. That's some nice follow through. That's some nice bullish momentum there. We're displacing the high. We just displaced these highs on the 1 minute. So now we want to wait for this 15-minute to close in about 50 seconds. I want to wait for this 15 and the 5-minute to close in about 50 seconds to see if we get true displacement. And then we can wait for some pullback and we could catch another long opportunity. All right, but we did touch up into that 1 hour. So there's definitely a possibility that we start to get retracement here. Definitely a strong possibility. We got displacement on the 4-minute. We're getting it on the 3-minute. 2-minute we got displacement. 1 minute we got displacement. But again, like I said, it's the 15-minute and the 5-minute that I care about. Look how we're not displacing yet. Okay, we displaced. Perfect. Perfect. We got our displacement. Now we wait for some pullback. We wait for a good entry. Let's look at that hourly. Good hourly candle. Strong bullish hourly candle here. But we are now touching into that hourly bearish fair value gap. So, love to see that displacement. But now we wait for some pullback. We can look at this little range here from this high to this low. Maybe we wait and see if we want to pull back to this 5-minute order block down here. Right back into our discount of this dealing range. If that happens, we might be able to catch a good opportunity. Pretty solid here. Pretty solid, right? Analysis is on point. Our idea is playing out. 3-minute displaced as well. I like this 2-minute order block we just formed. Yeah, I really think we're going to keep pumping here. Got a little 2-minute support here on this breaker. So I do think we're going to keep pumping. The only issue here is I want to wait for a little bit more pullback. After sweeping liquidity, I don't like to rush into the longs. Again, but this could be a good long opportunity for here if you want to be more aggressive. You could definitely jump in the longs here if you want to be more aggressive. And you could try to catch them you know, up, find our other levels, you know, maybe up to the consequent encroachment of our hourly. But again, we're in this 15-minute bearish fair value gap. We're in an hourly bearish fair value gap. So we're definitely going to see a probably struggle to push through, continuing to the high side. But still, longs are definitely there. Obviously, we've been long all day. Been long all day. I do think we're going to continue to pump. What I love about these little 1-minute order blocks is when we form this little pullback, we push higher again. When we retrace back into that order block, that's a great entry. That's a great entry, right? So if we push up again, displace this high. If we pull back to this order block, to me, that's a solid entry, and I'll probably look to take it. Right, it's all about patience right now. Yes, exactly. If the daily closes above, right, this daily closes above this daily fair value gap, that gives me a lot more confirmation that longs will continue to pump, and we'll probably, you know, try to target this fair value gap up here. But it also depends on Tesla earnings, because that's going to have a big effect, right? If Tesla has bad earnings, we could definitely see some pullback in the market. So that's going to affect us as well. Remember, we got to think about our fundamental analysis as well as our technical analysis. Right, if Tesla releases good earnings, we'll probably see a continuation to the high side with some more bullish movement. So that's definitely going to be a big effect on the market. Right? It's not always just about our technical analysis. We got to remember, fundamental analysis plays a key role in trading as well. And if you're not up to date with news being released and data being released, you're going to be left behind. Yeah, we might not get any great opportunities here, but again, like I said, if we displace this order block, we come up, we retrace back down, I'll probably look for a long. Besides that, I'm kind of just waiting. Alright, if you want to be more aggressive, like I said, this would have been a good long entry. If you're more aggressive, I'm being more patient this afternoon. Right, just waiting for more extra conviction in my trades. No, displacement does not need to contain a fair value gap. Displacement just means seeing a candle close above our high. Like, we want to see more of full body candles closing above our highs for displacement, right? Because that shows me that there's strength. There's more volume, there's more momentum going to the upside, right? But when we go above and we wick above, that doesn't show me that there's strength. We're not seeing enough strength. That's not enough confirmation for me to want to go long. But when we see a strong full body candle push above the highs, close above the highs, that's displacement. But when you see a fair value gap, that definitely gives you more confirmation, right? On displacement, because it's showing a breakout gap. It also makes best order blocks. Yes, it does make best order blocks. Right? Yes, I love strong displacement, leaving an order block behind, retracement back into that order block. That's why I'm like, this order block here, if we can displace, I'm going to look to take it long if we come back into it. All right, there we go. We got the displacement. Now I'm going to wait for some pullback. And I'm going to look to take it long around this order block. Right, we might not even get the opportunity here. We might not even get our opportunity, but that's okay. I'd rather wait for my trade setup and miss out on a play than rush into a trade and chase. So this is an order block here, but this right here is a stronger order block to me because we got that displacement candle right after this order block, right? So when I see that displacement candle right after an order block, to me this is a strong level of support. Now I want to see us pull back into that, and I want to look for longs. Okay, so now I'm just waiting for that pullback, and then I'm going to execute that trade. All right, when we come into this order block, that's when I'm looking for. That's when I'm looking to execute the longs. Remember, I always enter with half a lot, half a position, and then once we start to get that momentum, we start to see that trade playing out, I'll add into a full position. That's typically how I like to do my entries, how I like to trade. Some people, you could also do pyramid entries where, say your full lot is 10 micros, you could get in with 5 micros to start, you could add 3, and then you could add 2, right? Because then that's not really moving your break even too much, because now, like let's say I got in 5 micros here, and then I added 10 up here. Now my break even is going to move all the way up to here, and I'm not going to have the same risk management that I would have had before, right? Did anyone take the aggressive entry down here that I was talking about? I'm sure some people took it. Yep. There we go. Nice. Nice. Good trade. Yeah, like I said, I like to still, call these out. Even if I'm not taking the trade, I like to tell you guys what I'm looking at, what I'm seeing, the more aggressive entries, the more conservative entries, because I know everybody has a different style and everybody likes to take different trades. So I want to give you guys that opportunity to be able to take the more aggressive entry if you want to. All right, even if I'm not taking it. So I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. I'm not going to get an entry. I want to see us come back down. I want to see us come back down to this level to get a nice entry. Yeah, we might not even come back down. We're forming another order block here. The simplest way to find an order block is when, say we're in a bullish trend, we get a red candle, a bearish candle, and then we get a strong move back up. That's the simplest way to find an order block. You want to see our structure first. You want to make sure, okay, we have bullish structure. We're in a bullish trend. Okay, and then we retrace a little bit. We form a red candle, a bearish candle, and then we pump really aggressively with displacement, right? We pump. That's how you know that will tend to be a stronger level of support, right? It'll tend to be a stronger level of support, right? Like this right here. If we displace strongly, this could be another entry opportunity off of this order block here. This could be another good entry opportunity, but only if we displace with aggression, right? We get an aggressive displacement move up. If we don't do that, then I'm not going to look to enter off this order block. Right? Then I'm going to wait for us to come back down to this order block. Right? Isn't it kind of satisfying to see the order blocks and fair value gaps formed during breakouts? It's kind of cool to see, because then you can start to take those entries once you're more confident. And once you figure out, am I more of an aggressive trader or conservative? If you're more an aggressive trader, Well, you can take those entries, off of those breakout fair value gaps, off of those breakout order blocks, and you can be more aggressive. But if you're more conservative like me, I like to wait a little bit. I like to see these formed, and then I like to wait for that retracement to a strong level of support to take long. All right, so like this right here would be another aggressive entry in the longs. It's aggressive because we haven't displaced this order block, right? We've only wicked above it. But we can still see a strong reaction off of this order block, even though we didn't get displacement. For me, I like to see that displacement before I get into that trade. But if you're aggressive, you could get an entry in the longs right now, assuming that we're going to get a reaction off this 1 minute order block and we're going to continue this bullish trend, right? For me, I want to wait because we didn't displace this order block, but we did displace this one, so this order block down here is a lot stronger to me. A lot stronger. We're about to close our 30-minute, our hourly, our 15-minute, our 5-minute, right? So in 2 minutes, it's going to be key to see how we close. Yeah, I'd say for most traders, especially for people that are newer, being conservative is the way to go. It's going to help you keep discipline. Maybe if you're more experienced, you can be more aggressive because you've read the market so many times and you understand how the market moves. But if you're newer and you're beginner, in my opinion, I think it's better to be a lot more conservative and wait for your higher probability setups by taking less trades throughout the day. That'll instill that discipline in you. Because if you're trying to take every aggressive trade setup throughout the day and you don't really know how to read the market well, you're going to get chopped up a lot, right? You're going to get caught in some bad trades. And you also understanding market conditions is key as well. Okay, remember, a trend is your best friend. You want to try and stick with trading the trend, and what I mean by that is if we're in a bullish trend, we have bullish structure. You want to focus on trading the longs, right? You don't want to try to catch reversals. You don't want to try to catch the top. You want to keep trading with that trend until you really see clear conviction, that price is actually going to reverse at that point. Okay, so we just closed our hourly. Strong hourly candle there, strong displacement. Right, so remember, like I said, so now this order block on the hourly time frame is a very strong order block. We're going to probably see it as a strong point of support in the future when price trades back down to this level. Same here with this 30-minute order block. This 15-minute order block, right? Strong levels of support. Okay, so like I said, I'm just waiting now. I'm just waiting. I don't care if we pump from here. I don't care if I miss out on this, because that's not my plan. My plan is not to enter here. My plan is to wait for that pullback. Right, so I don't care if we pump from here and I miss out on a trade. That's okay. I'd much rather stick to my plan, wait for my trade setup and take it, right? But I mean, right now this is definitely a scalper's market. Or if you know, held the longs all the way from the bottom, swing trading, pretty solid. But like on these little moves, you could definitely scalp this market and catch 50 ticks here and there. If that's your style, that's something you could do as well. Typically, what I do is I wait for price to touch that order block, and if we get a reaction right off the top of it, I'll get an entry. But I'm not going to get an entry unless I see some kind of reaction to the upside, right? I'm not going to get an entry on this order block if we see an extremely aggressive bearish candle coming down. That's most likely going to displace this order block. I'm not going to get an entry. But if we see price kind of slowly move down, get a strong reaction, that's when I'm going to get that entry. All right. So, I mean, we're just moving so slow, low volume, right? Which is also something we expect coming out of lunch hour. Tesla earnings coming, aftermarket, right? We would expect to have some lower volume. Right? If you want to get in the longs right now, you could get in the longs right now. Right? If you want to be more aggressive, you could do that. Sometimes I'll swing trade. Not typically, but there are days that I will. Sometimes, if I really have conviction in a long setup or a short setup, I think that we're gonna pump or we're gonna dump all day. And sometimes I'll trade one of my accounts and I'll just leave that trade running for the day. Right? Or sometimes I'll leave a trade running overnight. That's not typically what I do, but sometimes I will. Okay, we just got some SMT here. ES doesn't break that high. NQ sweeps up, takes that high. We might see some retracement now. We might start to see some retracement now. So SMT stands for, it's a divergence, right? Smart money trading divergence. So it's basically when you see, we're looking at correlating markets. So we're looking at ES over here and NQ. Notice how NQ comes up here at the same exact time and sweeps this high. But look over at ES and notice how we did not sweep that same exact high over here on ES. Okay, so that indicates that ES is trying to push down. It's trying to lead us down, while NQ is just sweeping that liquidity, grabbing liquidity before we drop. And notice how we just started to get that pullback right when that happened. And it's not going to be all the time, right? When we see a divergence, it's not always going to mean we're going to get retracement or reversal. But it is something to keep our eye on, because it can add some confluence into our trades. All right, we just touched into that 5-minute fair value gap below. Okay. Okay, now we're seeing some strong move back up. So here's another thing we could do. Let's say this 5-minute candle pushes really aggressively above. We retrace back. This order block would now be a very strong order block on the 5-minute time frame. Would be another good entry for us. All right, but we're still chopping up and down. So, like, this price action is still choppy. I mean, we ultimately are still trending up. Remember right when I hopped on the session, I said we're gonna come take out these highs, right? We're gonna probably try to push up into this hourly, and so our analysis is on point. And sometimes I would rather just tape read if I don't see the entries I want to take, than take entries that I normally wouldn't take just to take them, right? But it's still a very, very good learning process, because screen time is super important for us. Backtesting is super important. Just reading the market is super important, and that's going to help you. The more you can do this, the more it's just going to be ingrained, right? It's just going to be subconscious. you're going to be able to look at the market and you're going to be able to completely understand what's happening all the time. Right? Even if you're going to get trades wrong, you're still going to start having such a better understanding of the market if you can sit here and have the discipline to not always have to take a trade, but being able to just read the price, right? All right, so I'm looking at this 5 minute now. All right, if we get strong displacement off this 5 minute, we retrace into this 5 minute order block. That's gonna be my next entry target for the longs. Because now, if we displace this 5 minute aggressively, I don't know if we're gonna retrace all the way back down to where I wanted to enter, right? I don't know if we're gonna retrace all the way back down to this order block. We might not see us come all the way back down. We might see us react off of this 5 minute. Right? Look at that reaction we got off the 5 minute fair value gap. If we get displacement of this candle, this now turns into support. Right? Then we look for longs. But again, we just got more divergence between the two. And Q came up and swept that high and came right back down while ES failed to take out that high. So we've got about a minute and 10 seconds left on this 5 minute candle. Right now we're waiting to see how this 5 minute closes. Right now it's really looking like it's not trying to push up. It looks like it's struggling. It looks like it wants to head down, grab some sell side liquidity. But now what did we do on ES? Now we have all this liquidity on ES that we still need to target, right? That ES could still possibly target. So we get that pullback, we get a power of 3 maybe on ES, and then go grab that liquidity above, right? Okay, so here's that pullback. 5 minutes about to close. We're coming back into that fair value gap. All right, more divergence again. ES now comes down, sweeps the low. We might see that power of 3 set up here. Still kind of liking the longs. Still liking the longs. You just have to be careful of this wick above. Right, but we still have this 5 minute order block here. I like what ES is doing. I think we're going to continue to the high side. It's just, do I want to get an entry up here? Maybe. Maybe, because we still have a good stop loss, but I would rather wait for displacement and wait for that pullback. Again, guys, there's still an hour and 50 minutes left of our market. We still have time. There's no need for me to rush into a trade. Right? I can wait and be patient for this setup. And I hope that you're able to start building that discipline to be able to wait for your setup and not rush into trades just because you want to chase price. All right, ES is looking like it's trying to form this power of 3, accumulation, manipulation. Now we just need to see if that distribution is going to happen. Here are schedule times. I'll send you the schedule. are 6:30 a.m. Pacific time for our pre-market analysis. We start trading around 6:45. I wanted to start trading later today because of our news that came out. Didn't want to trade the news. And then 10:30 a.m. for our prop firm sessions. Could be, baby gangster. You could be right. You know, this could be a manipulation kind of thing, type of day. Yeah, like they're trying to throw off our retail investors, right? Trying to get people in the longs after market just to fake them out. Yeah, that could definitely be the case. I mean, look at that drop there. Very aggressive drop here. And this is what I mean. I'm not going to get in the longs right now off of that crazy bearish candle, right? I'm not going to get in the longs, even if we pump from here. Why would I get in the longs right after seeing that crazy bearish displacement candle? You know what I mean? You know, maybe if we come up here and we respect this 5-minute fair value gap still, maybe I'll look for the longs, but I'm not going to get in longs after a crazy large displacement bearish candle, right? Let's look. Okay, yeah, ES dropped into that 15-minute fair value gap. Good catch. Right, I still think ES is going to try to go for the longs. I still think longs are going to come in here. So I'm going to test them out now. Now I'm going to test them out after that wick. I'm testing them out here. Okay, I don't know why didn't connect my account. Okay, so I just got in half a lot at 17.63225. Okay. So after seeing that crazy wick up, or that crazy wick down, I'm good with this trade, and I can have a 50 tick stop all the way down to this low. Okay, at 17.61975. So I'm good with this right now. Okay, I'm trading micros. I'm only in half a lot. You know, you could try to catch a 1-to-1. The only thing is we formed this 1-minute fair value gap above, right? But I like that. Look at this reaction. Look at that wick down on the 5-minute here. Still respecting that 5-minute fair value gap. Crazy wick down, and we're starting to pump. So I love that reaction. That's what's making me want to get in the longs here. That's why I got in the longs. Right, and I have a good stop. I have a 50 tick stop all the way down to this low. So to me, that's giving myself enough room to still be able to catch a good trade. The only issue is we don't have a ton of reward. It's only a 1-to-1 to this high. But we could try to catch it up to our consequent encroachment of that 1 hour. Right? So let's see. I like how that 5-minute closed. Let's see if we can pump. I want to see that power of 3 formed on ES. ES still has this target buy side liquidity up here. Right, so we could take first TP up here. I have not added into a full yet. I'll let you know if I do. Okay, I'm going to add into a full, and I don't think I'm going to take my first TP there, but because now my entry has moved up to 3.350. 3.350 is my entry. I'm going to move my stop loss up a little bit to about 45 ticks. 45 ticks, 17.62225. Okay, now we want to see if this is going to run. Now we want to see if this will run. Okay, so you can move your stop to 45 ticks, and you could still take a 1-to-1 at the break of this high at 45 ticks. So still a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Still could be, you know, decent reward there. But I really like that 5-minute. The 5-minute is giving me a lot of conviction in this trade. And the ES is also giving me that confluence that we came down into the 15-minute. We bounce. We have that buy side target on ES. We have a buy side target on NQ. Right, that's what's giving me conviction in this trade. That's why I took it I also have very good risk management on this one. Right, we're giving ourselves a lot of room to run, but still 45 tick stop. I really like this trade setup. I like it a lot. Alright, so now I'm just going to let this run. And you know, this is the awesome part, like I said, about trading micros. We can just sit here, right? I can just sit here. I mean, I can do this with minis too at this point, but with micros it's even better. You can just sit here and watch this trade play out without stressing, because 45 ticks with micros should not be too big of a deal, right? Unless you're over leveraging or you've already hit your loss limit, then you're probably stressing, which you should not be trading if that's the case. Okay, but I love that 5 minute. Now it's just, we'll see if we can get that follow through. I just like this setup, and I like that I can have my stop all the way down here beneath the 5 minute fair value gap. I like that we still have our buy side target. And I like that I'm trading micros and I can just kind of chill and watch this trade happen. Alright, so let's see. Let's let it run. I'm gonna let it run. You do what you'd like. We're sitting around break even right now. You know, we're a little bit beneath break even. Play this how you will, play this how you like. If you don't like the trade, don't take it. If you want to scale out, scale out. It's up to you. I obviously wouldn't be in the trade if I didn't like the setup. Okay, our 5 minute is closing in about 45 seconds. If we come down and close below our 5 minute fair value gap, I'll probably just get out of the trade, right? If we come down and close below this fair value gap, I'll just get out of the trade and call it good. And I won't even wait for it to come down and stop me out. Alright, let's see if this one wants to run. It's really messing with us here. It's really messing with us. Okay, at 5 minute close, still respecting that fair value gap. That's how I want to see that 5 minute close, just like that. Now let's see us run and grab our buy side liquidity. Get some follow through here. See that follow through. Alright, another thing you could do is you can move your stop up if you want. If you want to manage your risk a little more, you can move your stop just below this fair value gap. You know, that's up to you. Alright, so you could take your first TP if we break this high. That's a direct 1-to-1 45 ticks. I kind of want to hold and see if we're going to come up to that constant encroachment. We're going to see. If we push through this with strong displacement, I'll keep holding before I take profit. But if we kind of just pump and then wick back down, I'll just take my profit there. I'll move my stop to break even. Okay, this price action looks fantastic. We're looking very good on the 5 minute and the 15 minute and the 1 minute. I'm liking this setup. I just want to see ES really push. I want to see ES lead the way. I want to see ES take us up past those highs. We don't want to see another equal high formed up here though. I don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see another equal high formed. I want to see us just push through those highs. Push through those highs. There we go. We're almost at our first TP. We're almost at our 1-to-1. See if we can push through. Alright, we're getting close here. I'm obviously not going to sell until at least we hit a 1-to-1. Oh, well, I didn't set a limit order, so this might come back down and stop me out. We'll see what happens. I didn't set a limit order, so this one might sting a little bit. If you guys set a limit order, I would have your stop at break even. If you guys sold up here, I would have your stop at break even. I didn't even have time to sell right there. That happened so quick. I didn't even have time to sell if I wanted to. But if you guys want to move your stop to break even and just make this a risk-free trade, you can do that. Just because we grabbed liquidity on ES and NQ and instantly came back down. So I might even just move my stop to break even here and just make it a risk-free trade. Yeah, I just moved my stop to break even. Guys, at this point, after seeing that liquidity grab, I don't want to lose this trade. I'd rather just get stopped at break even, if anything. Alright, so I just did that. Stops at break even. We'll see if this keeps running. I just didn't like that liquidity grab there. It's also important to see what this 5-minute does. Again, if we come back up to our 1-to-1, you could take profit. You could take profit here if you want. It's completely up to you. At this point, my stop's at break even. I'm going to hold this because I want to see if we're going to break out. It's a risk-free trade for me, so I don't mind just letting it play out. My stop's at break even. I want to see us go to this consequent encroachment of our 1 hour up here. But again, we just hit 1-to-1 another time. You could take profit at that 1-to-1 again. I want to see how this 5-minute candle closes. I mean, we still look so bullish, guys. That's why you don't see me selling. But take your profits if you want to take your profits. There we go. We got displacement. We got displacement on the 5-minute, so I'm going to keep holding this. I'm going to keep holding this. I'm going to keep letting it run here. There we go. Okay, we just hit 60 ticks. I'm going to hold up to consequent encroachment up here at like 81 ticks before I sell half. But I sell at 80 ticks. 17,653.50. But sell, take some profit if you want. If we start to wick back down again, I'll probably take profit. But again, that 5-minute candle close and displace this high, I like that, but we're starting to get that retracement now. So if you want to take that profit, take it. Move that stop to break even. Okay, you know what? Just for the hell of it, I'm just going to sell half. Alright, I just sold half. I'm just going to move my stop to break even. I'm not going to be greedy. I'm not going to be greedy here. Alright, so I took my profit. And now my stop's at break even. My break even did move up a little bit to 3,475. So now this is one of those trades where I'm just going to let it run. Either I'll get stopped out at break even, or we'll see a really aggressive pump and I'll get to get a reward on this one. But this is more of just a scalp here. Slow movement in the market, still a really solid scalp for us. Look at this bounce off this 1-minute order block we just got. Alright, so like, why not let this one run a little bit? For me, I don't see why not. I already took profit. Stops at break even. I might as well let it run. But that could be, you could have a different plan completely. It's completely up to you. Let's see, you guys. Anybody catch that trade with me? Doesn't seem like anybody caught it. I know it's not a crazy 350 ticks, but it's still a win. A win is a win, in my opinion. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to see. I want to see you guys winning. Fair enough. You guys are focused on the charts. So, guys, here's my plan from here. Is basically, I'm going to keep my stop at break even for now. But let's say we pump really aggressively past these highs. I'm going to start trailing my stop. I'm going to start trailing my stop if we start pumping. But like when I'm trading micros and not a lot of micros, I like to let these trades run a little bit to try to catch more reward. You know, like let's say I was trading minis, I would probably sell my full position once we reach up to 80 ticks. But again, trading micros, I want to let this one run. Look at that. There we go. Okay, I'm going to move my stop up now into profit. So I just moved my stop to 17,639. 17,639. The reason I didn't look for shorts is because, look, we displaced our 5 minute right here. So that's why I still thought longs were going to keep stepping in. Because we got displacement. And we're about to get displacement on our 15-minute candle, which means we're going to keep pumping. Right? At least that's what I would assume. That's what my analysis is telling me, that we're going to keep pumping. Alright, so if you guys want to take your full TP up here, you could take it. Alright, we just hit 73 ticks. My stop is now down here at 639. 639 is my new stop. Alright, we are getting more divergence between NQ and ES. But look how this 15 minutes about to close. Let's see if this 15 minute displaces or not. Alright, our 15 minute got a lot of displacement. So we could retrace back into this 15 minute order block and then pump. Or we're just going to continue to pump from here. I might just let this one keep running a little bit. And every time we get an aggressive pump, I move my stop loss up. Right? I trail my stop a little bit closer every time we pump. That's what I'm talking about, guys. We just hit 77 ticks, 75 ticks. So you have plenty of opportunities to get fully out if you'd like to get fully out. Remember, like I said, we might retrace back down to this 15-minute order block. We might continue to pump, but we're also in this hourly imbalance and this hourly order block. So there's a chance we get rejection from here. There's a chance we get rejection from here, right? So that's why it could be a good idea to sell, just to get completely out. But at this point, my stop's already in profit. It's a winning trade. I'm just going to see if it'll run. My stop is up to here. Might get stopped out here. Going to get stopped out here in a second. We'll see. We'll see. A few ticks away from my stop on that one. Didn't get stopped out. Look how we retrace into this order block and we get reaction. We get reaction. Alright, so my stop is at 17,639. Right here's my stop loss. So we'll see if I get stopped out here. It's looking like we're gonna get stopped out. Alright, I'm out. But another winning trade there. And it's not a crazy reward on that one, but still another winning trade in our prop firm session. And do you guys understand why I let this run? Like, I hope you understand why I like to let these run. Just because when you're trading micros, sometimes you want to get a little more reward. So sometimes you try to let it run when you're already in a winning trade. You let your winners keep going. Right? You scale out, you sell most of your position, but you let a few runners go. Right? And that can offer you with some pretty good trade rewards, right? So like I said, we're coming back down to that 15-minute. We might see another bounce. We might see the long step back in again. Might even look for another long entry. Five-minute fair value gap. We just touched into that. We start to pump a little bit. It just depends what we do out this 15-minute. Right, but this is like the type of market where you could just keep scalping these little long setups. You scalp it, retraces, you scalp it, retraces, you scalp it, right? It's that kind of market. All right, but pretty solid setup. We waited a while for that one. We were very disciplined, very patient. We waited for our ideal setup. You know, it might have only been 45 ticks for our first TP, but a win is a win. A win is a win. And again, I'm in the positive on these prop firm accounts on both of them. 2 winning days in a row so far on the prop firms. That's why I'm doing this prop firm session, is to start building these correct trading habits. Start building our correct trading habits with these prop firms, so we're not over leveraging, we're not over trading. Because if you can build it the right way with these, once you start scaling up and you start having more money to trade with, then you're gonna be able to keep that discipline for when you're trading with more money. But if you're making the wrong habits with these prop firm accounts, when you start getting more money to trade with, you're gonna make the same mistakes and you're gonna keep trading bad, and then you're gonna lose more money. Alright, so that's why I don't even care about how much I make on these prop firms. I'm just focused on building the right habits. Of course. I hope you guys are learning something. I hope you're getting some value from these prop firm sessions. I love doing these. I really like doing these sessions. Okay, so in terms of the rest of the day, I would be careful with trading. Remember, we have Tesla earnings right after market close. Close out your positions before Tesla earnings. You know, unless you're an experienced trader who likes to trade earnings, that's different. If you're newer, you're a beginner, make sure you don't have open positions during a news release or during earnings, because that could get you into a trade without you even knowing it, and you could lose a lot of money. Alright, so I would expect us to be probably choppy for the rest of the day. I think we'll continue to try to trend up. We might even get some pullback, but we're probably not going to be offered with a lot of great trade setups for the rest of the day. That's what I would assume. As you can see, I mean, we're still moving very slow. I mean, Tesla might be a dump. They had bad earnings last time. We'll see. I'm not going to trade Tesla earnings. I'm going to probably just stay out of the market. You know, I don't really want to mess around with it. I'd rather just wait for tomorrow and wait for some better setups. Yeah, guys. So let's just go over this trade one more time. Let's talk about why we entered. Right, our bias was long this entire time. We formed this 5-minute bullish fair value gap. We wicked down very aggressively, but then we pumped right back, respecting this fair value gap. We were able to get our entry. We had our target on the longs for ES and NQ. Right, so we had our target. We respected our fair value gap. We took our TP at our target. Ended up getting stopped out in profit. Right, but it was a solid setup. You know, decent entry. Could have been a better entry, but I wanted to wait for that confirmation. Look, guys, what did I say? What did I say? We're going to trade back down into that 15-minute order block, and we're going to pump. Remember when I just said that? We're going to trade back down into our 15-minute order block. We're going to pump. All right, so remember, the trend is your friend if you're going to keep trading today. This bullish trend is your friend. I would not try to reverse it unless you truly see a reversal pattern. You really think the market's going to go down. That's different. Yeah, I mean, hey, I was the same way today, right? I hit my loss limit on my main account, and it's tough. It's like, like there were so many opportunities today. Could have caught some good trades. It's frustrating to deal with. It sucks. But at the end of the day, you just gotta think. You gotta put this day behind you, right? You gotta put it behind you. You gotta say tomorrow's a new day. We're gonna have more opportunities tomorrow. We're gonna have more opportunities the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Today's now it's now behind us. We learned from it. It was a really difficult day to get good entries, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was a really difficult day to get good entries. All right. So if you did take losses, don't beat yourself up. It was hard. It wasn't the easiest. I know we had a lot of opportunity, a lot of setups, but when we're moving so many ticks per candle, it can be hard, right? So just come with that mindset of, okay, today's now in the past. I learned from it. I move on. Tomorrow's a new day. We'll get back to it, right? That's the way I look at it. Don't dwell on the past. Learn from it, move on. Focus on the present. You're going to be good. Got you, guys. Well, I really appreciate everybody that was here. Glad that you guys hopped on for this prop firm session. I'm really enjoying these sessions. It's kind of more relaxing, you know. It's more chill. Good learning. We're going to keep doing these. We're going to keep growing. That's 2 winning days in a row on our prop firm accounts. So let's keep growing these prop firms. Let's keep trading the right way. Yes, I'm recording them. I already uploaded. I just uploaded our this morning session, and then I'm going to also upload this session in a little bit. But I record every session. I upload them to my YouTube, and I send them to our live recordings tab. Like right now, I'm gonna send. I just sent our morning session into that tab, and then I'll send this session after. All right, guys. I appreciate you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Go work out, get some fresh air, clear your mind. God bless you all, and I'll talk to you all soon. All right. Talk to you soon. Peace.